All right, we made it, y'all. We made it. Come on, come on. Let's let those notifications go out. Yes, we've got the comments set up. We're going to have this discussion because I'm going to tell y'all narcissism in action. Okay, because never forget, the devil is all about trying to instill fear. Okay, never forget that important point. He's always going to try to instill fear. And so, yeah, and not only that, for many of us, we know what season it is. It's tax season. So, of course, we're going to get a bunch of spam email. The enemy trying to, because see, I'm going to tell y'all something. As an entrepreneur, we're not the ones that they should be trying to spam. I'll tell you that right now. Because we don't get no W-2. No. So, hey, the joke's on them. But, I get emailed about this YouTube channel often. And it's that narcissism in action. And I'm like, man, what part of not conforming to this world? There you go. Sound check complete. All right. What part of not conforming to this world? Of course, the evildoers don't understand that because they conform to this world. See, how CHA, Consulting for Heightened Awareness, how we're doing things is how God guiding our step. We're doing it God's way, not the world's way. So let me go ahead and get, hello. Let me go ahead and get this formality out of the way for the algorithms. Thank you. I am Michelle Dickey, your host for CHA's Let's Just Chat show, streaming on the YouTube channel, Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance, where trauma healing and spiritual growth are front and center, while combating radio frequency poisoning for healthier living. Trauma healing and spiritual growth occur here and at CHA Academy, BTBW.com, with God's wisdom, basic scientific facts, tried and true techniques, and more. The link to the Academy is listed below for quicker access. Some of you might need to copy and paste the link to view what CHA Academy, BTBW.com offers to help you level up your trauma healing and spiritual growth. And yes, you all, I just put out an updated CHA Academy video ad because we're learning to become more generic, because I was going to list the 4 courses in that, but God said, don't do that. It's got to be generic. Just get their attention. They can go there and click on all courses and find out what's available, because when they come back in a couple months, there might be a new course. So we wanted to be generic, long term. Okay. And so I highly encourage y'all to check that out. It is in the playlist. 5th P, promote, right? Yeah, it's in that. And it is, the updated CHA. Yes, the updated CHA Academy video promo. Okay, and that would have been, that was done on February. It's just February. What is today? Okay, February 14th is when we put that up, 2024. So there you go. Just keeping it simple. Yes. Today is the 15th, but I put it up yesterday. It's the 14th that it got put as the date that will be on the timestamped to when we uploaded that video, the short video promo. And so I highly encourage y'all to check that out, and make sure we got to give these promo ads a thumbs up, y'all. And when you come across another person who's interested, just pass along the information. I highly appreciate you. Because I get email that clearly indicate narcissism in action. And not only that, the one I got today, the grammar was horrible. But not aside from that, they're trying to sell me services that I don't need, because I'm not doing things. When we create this content, I don't do it. When we create this content, I see the Wi-Fi being stupid. When we create this content, I I don't go over to YouTube and see what's trending, what's popular. I don't do that. Okay. And as far as the SEO, which is search engine optimization, it's what God puts on my spirit. It's like I get this love bomb. Your content is great, but, and then a deval, your SEO rank is too low. Like on one of my most recent videos, the SEO ranking is 0. So I don't care. God's not looking at that. God's looking at the heart, looking at the messaging. Because those who are meant to join us on this journey will find us. Y'all found. And so inside that email, narcissism in action, that's right, inside that email, he was trying to tell me that he could get my content, my YouTube channel ranking. I'm not looking at number 1. I don't care. It's not about popularity at Consulting for Heightened Awareness. It's not about jumping on what's trending. That's why we had to learn to quit saying the word trending. I know I've said that in some other videos, but we're getting away from that because this is long term. This is called evergreen content. And so we're bringing content to you all across multiple platforms, not just YouTube. You will find CHA's Truth Seeker podcast also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Listen Notes, Stitcher, Deezer, and more. You will find there's 64 episodes currently as we're streaming this video. By the time many catch it on the replay, will be way more than 64 episodes. Because we upload an episode every week to that platform. We go live with the Truth Seeker podcast on this YouTube channel every Tuesday around 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right? And then now we've taken a break from the Wednesdays, let's just chat here, to do Instagram live streams for a season or so. So on the website, you'll see where live broadcast, you'll see where let's just chat. It says Wednesday through Friday, but out beside it, we updated and it said, or on Instagram, Wednesday between 2 and 5. Okay, so it's going to be, see, God's using Wednesdays as like a hopper. So for a season, we'll do lives on IG. Then we'll come back over here with the Let's Just Chat. I will always keep y'all in the know. But this channel and this ministry, we're not looking to do that. So I'm not going to hire anybody. Let me make this clear right here. I will not be hiring anyone to do anything with our SEO stuff. Right? The search engine optimization stuff. I have my meta tags that are specific to the ministry, and I know darn well that people are looking for trauma specialists like me. Okay? So I know that. It's just this system of narcissism out here. Yeah, he was just trying to make me feel as though my channel's not performing good enough. Right? Here's another example of narcissism in action, right? I'm in my car. Now, my car came from the Carolinas, okay? The weather, weather pattern and type of weather is different there than it is here in where I'm at in Florida. And so as the sun, the top of my hood, at the very, very bottom part, and then on my back hatch or whatever, because my car is black, but the paint is starting to fade because the Florida sun is different. Because the type of paint used was for Carolina, right? Okay, so it is what it is. And I thought about getting a can of spray paint, but nah, God said leave it alone. Leave it alone, because that's as unique as you are. Glory be to God. And not only that, I've been in the parking lot. This is when we were doing some reintroducing God was reintroducing us to doing car videos again, here and there, not like we used to, but here and there. So I'm in a parking lot with some shade, and I noticed as I was going to that parking spot, this dude in a truck, and he was staring at my car like that. So he pulls around, and I thought maybe he was going to ask something about the ministry. So I rolled the window down, and he tells me that he works for Honda, and that, like, right, yeah, because he couldn't stand the fact that it's not looking perfect, right? Couldn't stand the fact that a little bit of paint is like wearing off a little because of the different climate here in this area. And I told him, I said, I appreciate it. I said, but I asked God, and he told me to leave it alone. And it's like the dude got a little bit tongue twisted when I told him that, because he works for Honda, right? And so he wants everything to be, remember, seeking perfection is a sign of narcissism. I talk more about that in the Devil in Narcissism space on Quora, where, by the way, people are still finding us. And so I highly encourage anyone who has not done so to hop on over to Quora, find the Devil in Narcissism space. That's right. The link to that is on the My Social page of the website as well. Don't forget, y'all, the My Social, CHA social platform. That page link is also listed below. Yeah, check that out. Okay, so that you can keep up with the content, because we are 2 weeks in a row now, y'all. We've been posting on Quora back, okay, a little at a time. Okay, the Devil in Narcissism space now has 2 updated postings, and so we're getting back into, okay, and before that, I think 3 weeks now, because I finally got back to answering a question. So we're getting back to the basics, get back on track with that. So thank you all for your patience. But that dude, that was narcissism in action right there, trying to make me feel, I guess you could say, insecure about how my vehicle looks. And I was like, I don't care how it looks. As long as it's doing the advertising that it needs to do and it gets me from point A to B, that's all that matters. So, yeah, so same concept. Because I've got the tag for this channel on the setting page where it belongs. I've got my meta tag keyword that go right along with trauma healing, trauma recovery, narcissism, the abuse associated with it, all of that. So I'm not going to hire anyone to do anything about our search engine optimization across the board. So I want to get that out there and make it be known, because that is, first of all, a huge way to get tricked into chasing your tail, because you all the time have to be, you be so consumed with that the message would get lost. And I came across a fellow content creator who basically did. Now, I know we say we have our formalities for the algorithm. What I mean by that is not for the algorithm as far as pushing the content, more so for the algorithm, hopefully, in the closed captioning, if it's spelled correctly, people will learn about CHA Academy, btbw.com, in the closed caption. That's a big part of it right there. But also, yeah, in hopes that it gets, the content gets pushed, sure. But yeah, I'm not going to. Yes, with cars and safety, right? Of course not. Thank you, Chris. That's right. The email, the reason I say it, narcissism in action, is that they're using the narcissistic marketing strategy. We don't do that at Consulting for Heightened Awareness. So I'm not going to be, no, because they're just trying to get me to feel as though I'm doing something wrong, right? Remember what these narcissists do, y'all? When they dish out that abuse, trying to make us feel as though we're doing something wrong or that we're not doing something good enough, right? They want to try and trick us into thinking that we're not good enough. When God already says, God says that we're good enough. God says we're worthy. That's all that matters. Because eventually, whoever this content is meant to resonate with, it will. They will find us. And in large part, thanks to you all for spreading the word as well. But they will find us. Those who are meant to will. Remember, God will bring those across our path who are meant to go with us and to help us get where He needs us to be. So, I want y'all to basically, I don't have any idea, but yes, thank you. Quora post, I appreciate that. Good, extra, interesting perspective. Of course, that's what it's all about. Now, if people come in to comment, and people come in here in the chat, in the comment section, and they say something that makes no sense, they get banned. So, reliability, main thing with cars, and safety, obviously. Yeah, and so if they are, if they're seeking perfection, then we know what's up. If they're seeking perfection. And so whoever it is that's going by that name, I now know is a Jezebel. Yep. So that game of narcissism wants to try and trick everybody into thinking they're not good enough, or that what they're doing isn't good enough, when God already says it is good enough. Remember, when we're doing everything to please God, that's all that matters. It's for God's glory, not man's glory. So I'm out here, when I see this stuff, and I'm like, no, because trying to get us to get all caught up in, look at it, things change all the time, right? Algorithms get updated on a regular basis, so it's pointless. So the fellow content creator, when they said that, forget the algorithm and focus on the audience. Bingo! That is exactly right. He is spot on. And that would be one that goes by Walter Jeanette. Very, very, very spot on. So shout out to you, Walter Jeanette. Thank you for pointing that out about forgetting the algorithm and focusing on the audience, because that's the key right there. Because when you're creating content that's for the long term, that evergreen content, that's what's going to matter. It's those who come on this journey with us, who join us on this journey. All right? That's what matters the most. The God Spirit in them. That's right. Pleasing the God Spirit in all of us. So that's what it's all about. It's not about popularity. It's not about fly by the seat of your pants, trending. It's not about, trends come and go. How many times throughout our lives, fellow chosen ones, have we seen a particular style of pant come and go, right? Those bell bottoms, right? They come and go. Trends, like with fashion, comes and goes. And it recycles, comes back around. So whereas, let's say in this season, because I've noticed something on Instagram lately, where the enemy's trying to push narcissism under the rug a little bit because of the hashtag updates. Because I've noticed, that's right, I've noticed that for some of the keywords and hashtags that we used to use that would have well over 1 million in use, now only have maybe 100 plus. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. How the enemy tried to keep narcissism and narcissists on the down low. Yeah. I think we can pretty much figure out why. Yep. And skirt length cycles. There you go. That's another one. Yep. You can speak with Google. Yep. Every search engine you want to use, and they will help you with your website tags. Right. Exactly. Yep. I've been looking at it on IG over the past week or so, couple of weeks, if you will. I've been noticing it, where the number of those hashtags that used to be well into the million being used are now just, so I thought to myself, because I know that every once in a while that the enemy will always try to sweep his game of narcissism back under the rug. We don't, no, we're going to continue to expose. And so what happens is narcissists become interesting for a season or so for some people, whereas for chosen one, true survivors of the traumatization, those of us, we stay on the path for exposing the wickedness that's with it. So I understand that this ministry may not be meeting the standards of those who have conformed to this world. Well, we're not supposed to conform to this world. Romans 12, verse 2. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of the mind. What does the renewing of the mind look like? Exactly. The value that you're going to get at CHA Academy. Chris, you know what I'm talking about. The value that you get at CHA Academy, those courses. Okay? God's wisdom, basic scientific facts, tried and true techniques. So we're not bringing you all stuff. Yes, we're bringing you a little bit from our educational background as well. And then let's not forget about narcissism in action when the enemy, somebody out there, is trying to use threats with financial abuse. We can see right through it. So don't fall for it, okay? Never forget. But it's the value that we're bringing to you all. And so we took some time away from Quora. Now we're getting back into it. And we're going to, we'll be doing some new things. And yes, right, it's not going away. Exactly. Narcissism is not going away. No. And we need to be fully aware of it. Absolutely. 100%. Thank you, Chris. So there's a lot of valuable information, not just in the courses, in the live and videos too. Thank you. Lots of value. I'm bringing y'all real world stuff that has to do with trauma healing and spiritual growth. And so it doesn't come as a surprise that the enemy wants to try to trick us into thinking that what we're doing isn't working when we know darn well it is, because y'all found us. So I'm not going by, there is some things I've done to change the word narcissistic abuser back to narcissist, because I do know that when we all first start searching to learn about these things, that's what we typed in, was narcissist, not narcissistic abuser. We did not know to call them that in the beginning. And so we do make some changes. But see, that's the thing. In the videos, in our titles, yeah, because there are still people out here looking up narcissism, narcissist. You know what I'm saying? There are. And so trying to make me think that my videos are not popping up when a person searches for, I will tell you this. If you type consulting for heightened awareness in any search browser, if you will, in any, all you have to do is type in consulting for heightened awareness. And I know that we've done this before because I've even done it from a different device. I pulled it up on Google. I typed in consulting for heightened awareness. The YouTube channel pops up. Yeah, the website first. Okay, our website. The YouTube channel pops up. CHA Academy pops up. Our Facebook page pops up. Our next door even pops up. Everything consulting for heightened awareness. When you type that in the search bar, this YouTube channel pops right up. So that's going to tell me, right? I mean, I understand most people are not going to think of consulting for heightened awareness unless they know that's the name of the ministry and the work, the business. But if they type in consulting, it should pop up somewhere, maybe on page 10 or 15, I don't know. But that's why I encourage people, if you want to learn more about it, that's what you have to type in, consulting for heightened awareness. Because what's happened is, like on the banner for this channel, it is, right, it's consulting for heightened awareness YouTube channel. And the title is Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance. So anywhere, if somebody's typing in cognitive dissonance, well, this YouTube channel should pop up. If they're typing in narcissism, this channel should pop up along with the others that also talk about that. So really, it's just a matter of interest, and it's a matter of who this stuff will resonate with, because it's not meant to resonate with the narcissist. It's meant to resonate with fellow spiritual warriors for Christ. It's meant to resonate with those who are serious about trauma healing and spiritual growth while combating radio frequency poisoning for healthier living. I understand that's not necessarily going to be a hot topic, if you will. Not many people are speaking openly about radio frequency poisoning. And the information out there might be a little challenging to find, but it's out there. It's not a surprise that we've been exposed to it our entire life, and that it is used to traumatize our autonomic nervous system. So once God revealed that to me, we got to know this stuff, because there was a whole other physical side of trauma healing that I hadn't ever gone through. Right. So you can be emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically healed from the trauma. Yeah. You got to have at least those three to be walking in your purpose. But I didn't know on the physical side. Remember, balance between the spiritual and the physical. So on the physical side, we are sown a physical body. So what that Jezebel case study tried to do, y'all, would try to turn me back into an infant. Is what she tried to do. That's the enemy. The enemy needs people, toddlers and adult bodies, right? Because there were certain things occurring that I was like, this is weird. And so God had me remembering some things. And He helping me become aware of the autonomic nervous system and how it's responding to things. And so God's given me the notes that I'm going to bring to y'all for your autonomic nervous system awareness and healing, because once that sucker gets healed, frequency is not going to be able to manipulate it anymore. That's the point. And see, the enemy knows that. It's another reason why the Jezebel case study did what she did. in hopes to prolong any pain and suffering from any metal toxins and things like that have got in there, trying to cause the appearance of being traumatized. Alright, and so I understand that. Oh yeah, trying to turn me into an infant, literally. And it didn't take me long to figure that out. Right, walking, repotty training, and then a certain area in the backside that's like that's like a baby's butt. I was like, nah, that ain't normal. I said, that's not normal. I hadn't had that since I was a baby. From playing drums. Because that's the area there where the low frequency would affect the sleepers. But not me. But anyone tried to trick me into thinking that the lower frequencies were causing that to tense up. No. It's not. But God needed me to make that connection because the higher frequency, right, at the top, and then the lower frequency for the bottom. That's why you have the high frequency and low frequency oftentimes back to back or in combination like the sirens. So like yesterday, right, smoke detector, high frequency at a certain time, and then about 15 minutes or so later, landscaping crew out here with all the equipment, that's the low frequency. We made that connection. Okay, so it's that manipulation of the autonomic nervous system to keep that backside tensed up so that the body is not able to properly eliminate a tensed up, tight, traumatized body all the time. It's not going to be able to properly eliminate those toxins as they should be. Because God revealed to me, and it's in my books, that these metal toxins don't have should not have that long of a shelf life. It takes about 3 months for our body to start going through a detox process. A lot of people get tricked every 3 months into thinking that they got to go get this or that, or they're catching this or that, when they're simply just detoxing, but they don't know that because the world, just like we didn't know at one time either. And so as far as that manipulation, from like yesterday, it happened to be a holiday at the same time. No surprise there. But, right, and so the Lord revealed to me that high frequency and how one spot back there was still responding, just one little spot. Made the connection, and I'm like, okay. Break that association. Once we become aware, okay, there was just one little spot that was still working on because the ANS, it has a mind of its own. All right, but we're aware of it. That's the thing. That's right. Because just enough of that, a pinch there can put your body into kind of a state of numbness, if you will, interrupting proper circulation so that, exactly, can't think straight, you lose your focus, all of that. It is a spiritual battle for the mind, but don't forget that, okay? And so I just wanted to share that with you all because I'm on this journey too. So, but yes, and prayers, absolutely. I just stay prayed up that our YouTube channel reaches who it needs to reach. Okay, made it using the Serif Web Plus and got it top 10 just using the right word tag in the code. Yeah, see, I don't know anything about that. That's not my area of expertise, but Yeah, narcissism, cognitive dissonance on the main YouTube page about halfway. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so on the main YouTube channel page about halfway. Okay. We get the ground people. There you go. That's another good connection. Right? Yes. Okay, you got the grounds people cutting grass there with that sound mixed with ambulances across the road. There you go. See what I'm saying? You become more aware of the frequency manipulation out here. And so the more aware we become of that, the less it's going to affect our autonomic nervous system, and we take back control over it. Remember, our thoughts control our autonomic nervous system. Because when the enemy can trick them into living in fear, right? Living in fear, so in the subconscious, they're not aware that they're living in fear. Their autonomic nervous system continues to respond the same way it always responds to that fear, whatever it perceives as a threat. And that continues to keep the body tense so that you have poor circulation and the autonomic nervous system stays in somewhat of a state of numbness, and they become more accident prone. That really is the brief synopsis right there. Because God revealed these things to me, you all. So because of that incident, that's a blessing in disguise, I'm able to share these things with you. And yeah, I just took another note today because I'm trying to make sure that I don't leave out whatever it is that we connect to that, because it's very important, because the autonomic nervous system had to get traumatized first for us to be trauma bonded to the world. And since we know we broke the trauma bond to the world, now we got to get the autonomic nervous system to do the same. You see? But it don't know it got trauma bonded. Okay? Because the trauma bond really is very spiritual. So it doesn't know that, as it continues to operate in the background. And so a lot of them out here have no idea. They're not even aware of their own autonomic nervous system and how it's responding. That's a whole new level of awareness, you all. A level that, oh man, yeah, that helps us reach that next stage, if you will, in the spiritual awakening. Because, right, for healthier living as well. And so I'm like, okay, since it healed once before, I just didn't know that. The enemy could see that, couldn't stand it, and so literally had to try and turn me into an infant again. So each day, one day at a time, each day, you know, we're just taking it one day at a time as we continue to watch our sodium intake and really make better decisions. Speaking of, I appreciate y'all's patience, but I got to go check something on the stove real quick. We got another one of our soups. Yes, I will share it with y'all. If I can give you something else to work with here. I will go ahead and I'm going to type it. I'm going to type it in the comments here for y'all. Yeah, trauma bond. Dealing with the trauma bond is due to people generally not realizing how deep the trauma is on the spiritual level. Exactly. That's exactly it right there. And then we learn just how deep it is on the physical level with the autonomic nervous system. I'm like, wow, that makes so much sense. It truly does. And so, all right, let me go ahead just to give y'all a little something else to go with those menu guides. Listen, for those who don't know, out Patreon digital product line is available. As far as I know, it's available to the public too. So if you go over to the Patreon side of things and you go to their shop, go to the Patreon shop, and you type in CHA low sodium menu guide, what we've got should pull up. And you can get your easy peasy PDF downloads for that to help you get started if you're on this journey with us. And you got to know, I'm going to give you a guide to help you get started with the food. So yeah, on the public side. But that's it. They don't know how deep it goes. Because remember, God even tells us that a lot of them won't receive things of the Spirit of God. Because to them it's foolishness. They can't spiritually discern for that reason. So, I'm not going to call it. And remember this, whenever I give you all this, the superfood soup is what I call them. If you want to have those juices, the only thing you do, like I make mine relatively thick, like a creamy type soup consistency in the blender. I get it to that liking. And then if I decide I want to take some of that with me on my walk and I want it as a juice, all I got to do is I take out, maybe several tablespoonfuls of the mix from the pitcher and into the whatever container I'm going to drink it from. And I just add water. I water it down a little bit. And that gives me a superfood juice to take with me on the walk. So I want to go ahead and let y'all know that. And I'm going to bring this to you all. Again, yes, I'm just giving you a little bit more, I guess you say, variety here. So, black-eyed peas, parsnips, oops, there we go. See, collard greens, and again, y'all can modify this however you want. And you can tell I'm big on the broccoli. And then I always, and onion powder to taste. Or if you want to use regular onion, that's fine too. And then garlic, minced garlic, garlic powder, garlic cloves, however you want to do it. And then I always put like a dash of the cayenne, because cayenne pepper is good for circulation. So there you go. I'm giving y'all a little something there. Basically what I've done is the black-eyed peas out of the bag, dry, I soak them overnight for a couple of nights. So I cook those first. Then I take those out, add a little more water to what's left in there, and I put the collard greens, the broccoli, and the parsnips inside. So that's what cooking. And so then I'm going to combine all of those with the onion powder, cayenne, and garlic powder. And that will become a superfood. And that right there, you all, for the blood type O, is a highly beneficial. See how I did that? Okay. And it's probably a highly beneficial for other blood types as well. I have to look it up. But, yeah. Really, but broccoli, I learned in my forensic toxicology when I had to research CYP enzymes. For those who have not heard this, broccoli, God gives us broccoli in abundance for a reason. So when you think of produce, you think of vegetables that are very prominent, right? Like you go, I mean, it just makes sense. You go to the majority of restaurants out here, right? Steakhouses and things like that. They're gonna typically offer you steamed broccoli, right? As a choice, side choice. Not all, but I know places like Applebee's and Longhorn does. And then, right, you get takeout, Chinese food, Japanese food. What you gonna get, right? When you get something that has broccoli in it, you get a lot of broccoli in that, don't you? So then you go to the store, and typically there's always broccoli. Broccoli is in abundance. God gives us that because it helps to eliminate toxins. Now, I'm not saying eat broccoli 3 times a day. You don't have to do that. No. But it is a good toxic substance remover. And that's I got one of those textbooks. Yep, that's CYP. And so, but there's other vegetables that do the same thing. So, keep those things in mind as well. But now listen, okay, Chris, fellow warriors, y'all, even you got everything, you got all of those ingredients except for the collard green. Well, you can still make it with just those 3. It's still a superfood. Stuff what I'm trying to tell y'all is that when you make the superfoods, when I share these things with you, and this is what I'm making, you can modify it with what you have. If you don't have a particular ingredient, it doesn't mean you got to go out there and get it. You'll work with what you have, and you'll still get the nutrition. Or instead of collard green, if you got spinach, that'll work. That kind of thing. Maybe you have some green peas you want to throw in there. That's fine, even though peas are neutral for the O and for others. But it doesn't matter. It's still, peas contain potassium too. So, yeah, you can modify it. Or you can just simply do those 3. It doesn't have to be 5 or 7 different veggies all the time. That's the point. That's why we have a variety. So we can switch it up. So for me, I'm doing the beneficial right now because I have a bit more of a situation with that bruising. So I'm doing more of a highly beneficial on a regular basis to help with that too. But it'll still help y'all, even if you're not undergoing a physical thing. Okay? So, yeah, we all have our own unique circumstances. But if you are going through some physical healing, then yeah, you want to make sure you get as much nutrition as you can in the day. That's what it's all about. That's what we're eating for. And so let's say, for example, I don't have all highly beneficial ingredients at a particular time, but I have a combination of beneficial and neutral. So that could look like, let's say I have spinach. Okay, that's beneficial. I've got parsnips. Okay, that's beneficial. I've got carrots. Okay, that's neutral. All right, I can do those. See, parsnips and carrots are the same family. So, and then I've got, let's say I don't have broccoli this time around, but I have cabbage. Okay, I can use that. That's a neutral. So that kind of thing. I can modify. I can have a combination of neutral and beneficial. Or I can do it all neutral. See, what neutral means, for those of you who are interested with the blood type diet, what that means, the neutral is mainly nutrition. You're going to get the nutrient. A highly beneficial, it just has more than just the nutrient. It'll have additional antioxidant properties. It'll have enhanced metabolic property, that kind of thing for the beneficials and the neutral. And then the avoids are your metabolic inhibitors. So there you go. But I just want to make sure I give y'all something. Every now and again, I'm going to throw one of these superfood soups at you, okay, to keep you going. Because I know that some of y'all got those menu guides. And, yeah, that's serving as your guide. But I will bring some additional things to you. Well, if you've got collard greens, you can do broccoli and cabbage. So, yeah, spinach and cabbage, good. Yeah, add water and heat. There you go. Yeah, and so I just cook the vegetables, down to a softness because we're making a soup. We're mixing it in the blender with the black-eyed peas. And I use black-eyed peas or Great Northern beans or butter beans, which are large lima bean, black bean, depending on the vegetable. And so I use the bean and then the black-eyed peas as for me, the creamy texture of the soup. And then again, if you do tablespoons, maybe 4 tablespoons of the soup in a water bottle, and then add at least 1 bottle of water to give us a superfood juice. So it goes both ways. And it's great. And gosh almighty, I've done that. Oh yeah, multiple times. So yeah, and for those who would like to know, when you get them fresh, okay, as fresh as you can get them, it should last for at least a week or so. You'll know. I mean, seriously, yeah, you'll know, because what will happen is it's not necessarily going to smell bad, but when you go to taste it, it loses its smoothness. Okay, time to go. Because you want that smooth. Okay, it's very soothing, not smoothness, soothing. There you go. When you take a bite and your body recognizes it's taking the nutrient, it's very soothing. So once that goes away, hopefully you don't end up throwing away too much. But I eat on that, and listen, even for breakfast, we'll coffee cup of that, just fine. A lot of time. And it's low sodium because I don't add salt. So there might be maybe in there because of the vegetables and the black-eyed peas, but 5 milligrams here or there. Might be 15 to 20 milligrams of sodium per serving in that. But the potassium level is high. That's what you want. So there you go. Absolutely. So I'm looking at the clock here. Okay. That's fine. If you're still, listen, no rush. Okay? Don't rush it. If you are still on the general low sodium, keep going. It is a day by day by day by day. That's right. And when you get to that other ultra low for a snack, I really recommend that. If you're going to do the 0 to 50 milligram thing, my suggestion when you get ready for that is use that for the snack. Okay, snack in between meal, because that will really help. Okay, because that way, like, let's say for your breakfast, you've got 200 milligrams already. And then for lunch, you pretty much are probably going to get another 2 or 3, depending on what you're eating. And then dinner, okay, so you might be 800, 900, you might even be at 1100. So if you're at 1100 intake and you're still having some snacks, that's where that 0 to 50 milligram will come into play really nicely, right there. So there's your tip for anybody who needs that one. Yep. Okay, you don't eat bananas. Okay. So these superfoods are great alternative with the potassium. By the way, if you eat sweet potatoes, there's another great source of potassium. And any of your squashes, really, too. Your butternut squash, spaghetti squash. Really great sources of potassium. Your beans, your butter beans, lima beans, things like that. Yeah, those are great for potassium. And don't forget the Hershey cocoa. Okay, cocoa powder. Got potassium. Remember, 220 milligrams of potassium per tablespoon of that cocoa. And plus it's alkaline. And then don't forget about your fruits, your other fruits, if you don't eat banana. Okay, you've got other fruits out there that also give you the potassium, and vegetables. I mean, it's in abundance. Okay, it really truly is all around us. You know, based on what's available in our area, but it is in abundance. That potassium and the nutrients and things like that all around us. It's just about us making the better choices. Don't forget about eggs. You know, eggs also have, I know they've got sodium, but it's got other vitamins and nutrients and things like that as well. So, and omega-3 basically. So it really is about making the right choices and being dedicated to it. See, that's the other thing, you all. The evildoers are not. They're not dedicated. Okay? Chosen one, when we get our mind set on something, that's it. Right? Yes, that's right. We make the decision and we're like, you know what? This is it. We're going to do this. All in or not at all. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, if you Google, if you just potassium-rich foods, if you Google that, you'll be amazed. There is an abundance of fruits and vegetables. Remember, beans are considered a vegetable. So, and they're rich in potassium as well. There you go. To get those potassium levels up with low sodium levels with the detoxing and then beyond. Because after all, right, what do we know now about excessive salt and sugars, right? For the formation of mucus. So there you go. Don't hesitate, you all, to reach out with any questions that you may have. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I can sit here and give y'all all this stuff too, but seriously, you can do your own look up on that as well, because the list is long for potassium-rich foods. Absolutely, the list is long, and so you'll be surprised. You might be surprised at some of the food items that pop up that are known to be rich in potassium, other than banana. I know that's like the most popular known one, okay, but there are a lot of others, like this superfood I just gave y'all. That's very high in potassium and other nutrients. All right, so speaking of, that wraps this episode up. As we talked about, I gave you the narcissism examples in action, and more with the autonomic nervous system reminders, and then sharing some recipes. That's what it's all about. Let's just chat. You never know where the Holy Spirit takes us. All right, everyone. So again, if you catch us on the replay and you got questions in the comments, I'll get to those as soon as possible. All right, everyone. I am Michelle Dickey, your host for CHA's Let's Just Chat show, streaming on the YouTube channel Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance, where trauma healing and spiritual growth are front and center, while combating radio frequency poisoning for healthier living. Trauma healing and spiritual growth occur with God's wisdom, basic scientific facts, tried and true techniques, and more here and at CHA Academy, BTBW.com. The link to the Academy is listed below. Some of you might need to copy and paste the link to view what CHA Academy, BTBW.com offers to help you level up your trauma healing and spiritual growth. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your support. Till next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.